It's the Cricket Weekly podcast with Nabil. How's it going, Nabil?
Good, Adam. Welcome, man. Welcome to episode 25 of Cricket Weekly. Yeah, we threw a little curveball over there to our viewers coming tonight on Monday instead of our weekly Tuesday. So
I gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, just to keep things fresh, Yeah. For our viewers. So we're here today. I feel you, man, but I'm glad we're at least here on a Monday before the semifinals. We have
smart upstairs, up here.
Absolutely. So the Champions Trophy 2025 semifinals, India versus Australia, some leadership shakeups within England's cricket team, and exploring some latest updates in IPL and other cricketing news. So first up, Adam, Champions Trophy, man. It's reached the business end of the tournament, semifinal stage. In the first match, India will face Australia in Dubai, and India has been in stellar form recently, defeating New Zealand by 44 runs. The top Group A. However, there's
stellar form. Stellar form. I can debate this stellar form business. Stellar form. Yeah. Stellar form. However, they're bowling well. They're bowling well. They're picking 79 spinners in their team. That's the key, guys. If you're out there, if you're in Australia or New Zealand or South Africa, put in an extra spinner. Do it. Put in an extra spinner. Chakra just absolutely went through New Zealand like a good curry, like straight through him. First of all, if this, watch out in who New Zealand played spin. Like, they did everything wrong. Like, I don't think they did one thing right with the versing spin. First of all, don't play across the line. Okay. Pitch is outside off stump. Don't try to hit it to the leg side. Okay. It doesn't matter. If you have no idea, I still have no idea what Chakra is bowling. I have no idea what he's bowling. He has 7 balls. I still don't know which way they're turning. Like, good luck if you're a keeper. You got no idea where they're going. New Zealand had no idea where they were going. Like, trying to play to the offside late. No, straight back through the gate. See you later, buddy. Oh, it's pitching on off stump. Oh, it's going to turn away. No, it's going to come back, hit you in the pad. You're out. How's that one? And then Kane Williamson just ran down the pitch and just walked off the field. Do you see?
Yeah, and honestly,
down, throws the bat, walks off. Rel almost didn't stump him.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, man. And the debate for India, right, is are they going to go with actual 4 spinners? And India's considering it, considering the spin-friendly conditions in Dubai. And I'm not sure what our viewers think here. Should India be going with
absolutely
4 spinners? Because it's the conditions that they've seen, and they've been in playing their games in Dubai. I think it's a good chance that they go with an extra spinner to just have that spin web created, especially in an ODI cricket where they can control that run rate in a big semifinal game.
Here's my hot take right here. I said if Australia is any chance of winning, they need to sack Lavershane. Okay, get him out of the team. Don't need him. He's incompetent with the bat. And literally call up Brad Hogg at 50 years of age, get him to come fly him to Dubai and get him to bowl some left arm Chinaman, left arm spin. That's good. He can bowl. He can be 50. I don't care if he doesn't bat. I don't care if you bat him at 11. Get him to bowl some left arm spin. Same with New Zealand. Sack someone there that can't bat in the middle and bring Vittori back. Even Vittori, he's 50. Bring Vittori bowling off spin. 10 overs of off spin in Abu Dhabi in Dubai wins New Zealand the championship right here. You heard it here first. That's what they need. So I need some more spin. Everyone needs more spin.
Everyone, man. I mean, in those conditions, and I think Australia made a change in their squad with Short, the Matt Short now being injured, and I think they replaced him with Connolly, if I'm not mistaken.
That's actually pretty clutch right there. That's good.
Cooper Connolly. So I think he adds another spin option.
Yeah,
add the spin option.
Short's injured. I didn't hear that. Is he injured?
Yeah, he's injured.
Last
game, he was playing on one leg.
Oh, so that's right. Yes, you're right. Yes,
he opened the innings and he was playing on one leg, and still scored 20 runs, just trying to get some boundaries.
Yeah,
from the top of the order.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, Australia, obviously, on the other side, has faced some significant injury challenges, right? Sidelining key players like Mitchell Marsh, Pat Cummins, Hazelwood, Stark, Stoinis, and they've been resilient throughout this tournament, as they always are in ICC tournaments, So what are we seeing, man? Where is it
ODS.
going? Who has
Where's
the
this
upper?
in this game? Who's up here in this game?
Yeah.
India, because Australia can't bat. So head can bat, Smith can bat. As long as they take your catch, as long as they take their catches. If India takes their catches, so like Head was dropped. Let's be very clear.
Yeah.
Head got dropped. Yeah. Okay, they dropped him. Dropped the
Yeah.
absolute sitter. Afghanistan. Rashid Khan dropped the sitter. Okay, he would have never have gotten to 50. He never would have gotten past 20. He was dropped. Okay, so Lavishame scoring runs. Okay, Smith and Head is only option that they have, and then Maxwell the savior. So if Maxwell gets in and he can score against spin, sure. Everyone else isn't really going to help with the bat. There's no one else there to help bat. So that's that. Yeah. And then when it comes to the ball, I mean, here's the thing: Sharma's going to get himself out. That's the key. Sharma always gets himself out. He comes on the wicket. Yeah. He's way too aggressive. It's too many balls in the air. He's just getting too old. He just hits too many balls in the air. If he was more controlled and a little more patient, he would score 100 every time, because he just has to be a little more patient, and then he gets on to score some runs. But he's going to come down the wicket and go bang, 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 and someone's going to catch him out. But he may get onto the Australian bowling attack. I mean, Spencer Johnson, Abbott, Sharma could take to them and absolutely just go bananas. It goes one of two ways. They're what's he say? 10 overs. They're 110 off of 10 overs in the first power play, or they're 2 down in the power play for 60. Like, it's gonna go two ways. Yeah. I hope Sharma. That's my prediction. Sharma's gonna either get out swinging, or he's gonna get out real big. If he does go down swinging, if he does get some runs, then good on India. Kohli's gonna get out again. He isn't gonna score any runs. Pressure's on. Kohli's gonna crack. Gill, you need to get the only way to get Gill out is absolute peach. Gill and Head are the same thing. You got to hit him with absolute peach. I mean, if you want to get Head out, just bowl him in swing, left arm in swing. And then Gill, you just got to bowl him a peach. He should get runs. If Gill gets runs, Australia's toast. But you got to bowl. Whoever wants to win needs to bowl first. That's whoever wants to win. Bowl first. Bowl first. You're gonna get the advantage.
And you're expecting it to be a low-scoring affair. Are you expecting it to be like in the range of 250 to 270, or like are you seeing it at 300?
Won't crack 300. No. There's no way it gets over 300 runs. If India bats first and they get to 300 runs, that's phenomenal. But I mean, they just got 250 the other day. They just restricted to 250. It's all going to come down to the Sharma. Like if Sharma gets off to a flyer and doesn't get out in the first 3 overs, like he always does, he just goes bang, 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 gets out. In 5 overs, he's done. If he stays in and is a little more sensible, they can get there. But they're going to probably, most likely, lose Sharma early swing in. He's going to get caught coming. He's going to come down the wicket, swing in the air, get caught at either mid wicket or cover right here first, and then Gill is going to play a good innings. You got to get him out with a peach. If you don't get him out with a peach, then he's just going to make some runs. Kohli, probably not going to make runs. He'll get out silly as well, hitting the ball in the air too much. And then the rest of them, can obviously, they're just going to feel out the rest of the overs. But there's a key for India is the start. If they can get to a really nice total, only be 1 down at 10 overs, then I see them going on to get a good score. But I don't think that it's going to be up to 300. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be between that 250 to 270 range, and the spin's going to play a big major part here, and if we look at the team news before we get into some comments from some of the viewers, and keep the comments coming in the chat, guys. We're going to go over some of them shortly, but some of the probable lists that came out for the 2 teams for India and Australia. Let's look at India first. India, Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill, Virat Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Akshar Patel at 5, KL Rahul at 6, Hardik Pandya at 7, Ravindra Jadeja at 8, Kuldeep Yadav at 9, Mohammad Shami at 10, and Varun Chakravarti at 11. So it seems like they're going.
They got him. They got him. Perfect.
Probable list of 4 spinners.
Yeah.
And
straight as toast.
Australia on the other side is Travis Head and Josh Inglis, Stephen Smith captain at 3, Marnus Labuschagne 4, Cooper Connolly at 5, Alex Carey 6, Glenn Maxwell 7, Ben Dwarshuis 8, Nathan Ellis 9, Spencer Johnson 10, and Adam Zampa 11. So they're also going with 3 options, and there are 4 if you count Labuschagne with Travis Head and Connolly and Adam Zampa and Glenn Maxwell too. So
well, they have one
they have
spinner and a million part-time spinners. Basically, they can all bowl.
Yeah.
Every person in that team can bowl spin. Head can bowl spin. I don't know if Inglis can bowl, but can't count him out. Labuschagne can bowl spin. Smith can bowl spin. Maxwell can bowl spin. Connolly can bowl spin. Short, if he was there, he could also bowl spin. But I mean, I don't know if it's the caliber. The thing that Chakra is doing different is it's this 7 different deliveries. Like if you're bowling just stock spin and off spin, you're going to get hit out of the stadium. It's 70-meter boundaries. They're going to absolutely smash it. So the only hope is Zampa bowling, some rung-ins and some leggies and whatnot. But if you don't have a different ball, like that's going to be the difference, I think. Because like I said, I still have no idea what Chakra is bowling. No one has no idea what he's bowling. He doesn't even know what he's bowling, I don't think. I don't know if he knows, but it's impressive. It's absolutely. I'd never seen him bowl before, and it was impressive to see him move the seam both ways. He had balls where the seam is facing slip. He had balls where the seam is facing leg side. He was rolling his fingers over the ball, back of the ball, underneath the ball, and the action is also off-putting too because it's not like a traditional
it's different
action. He kind of bowls from the front of his hand rather than bowling from the side of his hand, which is also off-putting. So, I just don't think they're having.
I mean, there's not a lot of homework done on that type of a bowler, So
no,
I think they're gonna find him difficult to face, and that gives India an edge, by having somebody who a lot of the Aussies haven't faced, and I think it adds a different level of a challenge, especially in a big game. Where there's
because they need to also they need to apply pressure too. Like India did a great job against New Zealand applying pressure. Like they really restricted them. Like New Zealand were in a perfect spot. New Zealand should have won that game. Like they had a chance to win that game. And this is my prediction that game, it was the pre-final. Like India should beat Australia and New Zealand should beat South Africa, bringing it back around like we predicted to New Zealand versus India. New Zealand versus Africa is going to be a super tight game. I think that game is more tighter than the Australia game. So moving over to the New Zealand game, I mean, South Africa, they can bat. I mean, Gleeson put on some good runs in the other game. Their bowling is also very good. In New Zealanders threw it away. Like I had hyped them up about that being a little bit more, how do you say, like more, not conservative, but they were very, put together. They've been scoring runs well. They kind of threw it away there at the end. And they didn't review. That was the big thing. Did you see Bracewell didn't review? They had one review left, and Bracewell didn't review the LBW.
I saw that.
And that was weird. That was weird because it was as if Kane Williamson, he came down and asked Kane Williamson, he was like, nah, you're good. Like, nah, just go. And it was if Kane was like holding the review for himself in case he needed a review. But it was umpire's call.
And on the other end, you saw the way Kane Williamson got out too, right? I've never seen him get out in that fashion. He just walked down the wicket and gave up his wicket like he wanted to walk away.
It's a lost ball.
A lot of questionable things happen in that game, man. A lot of questionable things, and I'm going to keep.
You could argue they didn't want to face Australia because they were basically playing a dead rubber match, and they were playing for the win. Whoever won would play Australia. So maybe they didn't want to play Australia. Maybe they wanted South Africa because they'd been well against South Africa. So I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of tactics there.
Absolutely, yeah.
We can speculate.
You just don't know. You don't know. Yeah, you can.
You don't know. You don't know. But so I still
comments in the chat. Let's take some comments in the chat.
Comments. Let's say your comments, guys. Who do you think we got for?
All right. So
what do we got here?
So first comment. We had brought up a question to our viewers: who will be the finalists of Champions Trophy 2025? Let us know in the chat. Sajad Naqvi was the first one to reply. India versus New Zealand in the finals, with NZ taking the trophy. We got Imran Hussain joining the party. What do you think? Will Pakistan be taken to New Zealand? I don't know, man. Pakistan, we just should let them enjoy their time home and enjoy a cup of tea. We have to remember what happened to India in 2023 finals. Yeah, we remember, but this is a different Indian team, I think. Much better, much stronger. And Australia plays spin well. They do. And Adam, you got any comments there, man, on Australia's
Which
spin playing
I mean,
ability?
some of them play spin well. Some of them.
Yeah.
He
Some of
bats
them,
at
yeah.
number 7. He's gonna be he's batting at 7 right now. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
understand this Maxwell batting at 7 business. Like,
Yeah.
if he's gonna go out there and score you 200 runs, are you gonna wait to be 8 down to put him into bat? Like, what is the
Yeah.
go there? Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, true.
Literally, you should just be they're playing 4 spinners, and from the 11th over, they're gonna bring on a spinner. Then why not have him bat at 3 or 4? Like, just if someone gets out, put him in there. Like,
Yeah.
why waste him at the end?
That's what India
Like,
is doing with Akshar Patel. You know, they're using his batting capabilities to get some runs from him in the top 5. And in top 5, he's batting number 5, and it's a smart play, I think. You know, KL Rahul comes at number 6, and then they have Hardik Pandya at number 7. So there's some firepower after Akshar Patel, and Akshar Patel is a good enough player at number 5 where he can provide some good numbers in the middle order.
Because it doesn't quite make Carey is batting above Maxwell.
Yeah,
which Carey is a decent batter. He's more like he's my type of batter. He's a sensible batter. He hit 2 balls in the air in his innings with Inglis. One was dropped, the other one got him out. So, like, I'm big on don't be stupid, don't hit the ball in the air unless you need to. So I like the way that he bats. I like the way Inglis bats. I think Inglis is a great batter. I think Inglis, if he opens, good on him. That's great. I've been hyping on Inglis for months about he should be in the test team. You can knock out Labuschagne, just have Inglis be there. Labuschagne's record looking at today is ridiculously low. Like, it's terrible. Like, he's only got 150 in ODIs in last couple years. It's a dead thing. And, like, I feel like if you're gonna be in that position, you're better off going with a different batter that can spin, like Connolly. Like, let's say Short was good to bat. I would have put Connolly in for Labuschagne. Have the extra spin option for a batter that's more in form than Labuschagne. Because Labuschagne, sure, he can bowl a little leg spin or a little bit. The bounces are ridiculous, but put someone in. Like, it doesn't matter in the short form of the game. It doesn't matter as much. You'd rather put in someone that's batting hot, and that can give you a little extra in the field bowl, than someone that's like not performing. Like, what's the point?
Plus, you got to look at who's your best player spinner, right? If India's going with 4 spinners, you got to know the numbers. So, for example, of all batters to have scored at least 200 ODI runs against spin since the start of 2022, Glenn Maxwell has the best strike rate, 141.49 of the top 12 batters in that list. However, Maxwell 37.81 average is the only one to be under 40 against spin. So, it tells you that he can take apart spinners, right? Like no one else, but he also gives them a chance. It's the yin and yang of Maxwell's game, where he can destroy, a team, or he's going to give a chance. So I think in the big game like this, a player like Maxwell, as you mentioned, maybe too low at number 7, maybe promote him up the order, get him at number 5, number 4. If you see that, to get a good start in the top, 3 guys or top 4 guys, keep him fluid. You don't need Maxwell down at number 7. You need to provide a maximum amount of time to go out there and dominate. You can't expect that, hey, now last 8 overs, go score, at 300 strike rate and just score some 6s. I think it's about him taking a little bit of time during the innings as well, settling in, and then really taking off.
It may be just what they're going with. I mean, because he's so hit and miss sometimes. Maybe they're just like, screw it. We'll put him at 7. Tell him to just go for it at the end. They got a little bit of fielding restrictions at the end there. If he gets, let's say he gets 30 or 40 off 15 or 20 balls, then he does his job. You know what I mean? Like, I think maybe that's what they're going to do. And then if they're batting second, then maybe, he can claw you the win. So I feel like I'm gonna call it up now. Like, Carey is kind of like I feel like Carey could be a Bevan. Like, Michael Bevan was your batter that you had that could bat to the very, very last ball and take it all the way to the end. Like
Bevan was
Australia needs
different
some
class, man. Bevan,
Yeah,
I don't
so
think
they
you can put in the carry category. I mean,
No, but I'm
Bevan was
saying
a
like
different class, I think.
No, I'm saying that like you need someone to do that. Someone that can do like I'm
Yeah.
not saying that Carey is like but he could be. I said so you need someone that
Yeah.
can bat sensibly.
Yeah.
Like Inglis and Carey, I put in the same kind of category. They're sensible batters. I like them. I think they should play Test cricket. They're sensible batters, and they need to be sensible in ODI cricket. Be sensible, and Bevan would say, take it all the way to the last over. You know, that's what you think. If you give yourself a chance, don't get out too early. Take it all the way to the last over, and then you got a shot. You know, if you've got 3 or 4 in the bag going into the last 2 overs, you know, then that's where you can push it. So we'll see how it goes.
That's the MS Dhoni mindset as well. You know, taking it down to the last over and just see how things play out. You know, and you'd be surprised how things change so quickly in a matter of a couple of
pressure,
overs.
man. Pressure makes you do crazy stuff. You miss a
Yeah,
ball, you bowl
yeah.
wide, you do something crazy, you miss a catch, pressure's on, man.
Absolutely. You know, people crush under pressure or burst under pressure,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Let's look at more comments. You know, I think Daryl said NZ is due. It's
New
true.
Zealand is due.
Yeah, they're due, but I think
due.
so is South Africa, you know, so is South Africa.
Oh, so is South Africa. Yeah.
So
I mean,
who knows?
South Africa, I think so, like I'm not speculating here. I think on paper right now on form, you could almost say South Africa has probably the best lineup. I mean, honestly, like their bowling is phenomenal. Their batting very good. I mean, Miller, if he can get some form,
man.
Miller. I'm always always every team has that that shaky player that I'm always like hard on.
Yeah.
For Miller, it's that. But I mean, Gleeson, if he goes out, Gleeson. I mean, the thing I'm going to say about Gleeson is like I wish he needs to focus on if I was coaching Gleeson, focus on taking it all the way to the end. Focus on taking it deep. Don't try to finish early. Like he got out early. He got out with 6 balls, still 6 runs still needed in the last game. You know, he was doing very well in the World Cup, T20 World Cup. He got out with like 2 or 3 overs to go. You know, he could have taken it deep. I think he needs to focus on taking it deep and get some games. Like if he's going to win it for South Africa against New Zealand, Gleeson has to take it deep. He has to be not out at the end. Yeah. So
I think the key words there by Adam is take it deep.
Take it deep. You gotta take it deep. We could that could be my new line of merch. I'll be like, take it deep, put it down his throat. That's like the whole merch line right there. Like,
oh god,
it's gonna be like funny. Can't bat, can't bowl, can drink.
I know.
Come back, can drink.
That merch would get hot, man. It'd be sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah, take it deep.
Let us know your idea on that. You know, maybe we become millionaires before that. You know.
Wow.
So let's keep on going with the comments. If Travis Head and Steve Smith open for Australia, I think they could win the tournament. Yeah, perhaps, man. And it's
if
possible.
They don't get out.
If they don't get out, Smith. But I have never been in favor of a Smith opening. I think you guys can check out prior episodes where Adam and I have done some rankings on this as well, and I was always in favor of Steve Smith batting a 3 or 4. And he's a sublime player in good form. Don't need to mess with him and have him open. Maybe Inglis, who's in good form. Have him go up the top of the order with Travis Head makes more sense. I think for me personally. So I don't know. You know what other guys think on the pod. So keep on going with the comments. I think South Africa fast bowler is going to love playing in Lahore. I don't know, man. Lahore's,
he's going to bang it in. Just bang it.
Yeah,
just bang it in.
A lot of rain's been happening there for the past week. So, and I just realized what you did there. I think it's another merch idea for you.
Just bang it in. Just bang it in. Bang it in short. Bang it in short. Bang it up. Bang it full. Pitch it up.
Hottest take of the week, man. Hottest take of the
week. But I mean, like, if they're getting group off the pitch through spin, I mean, these tall South African bowlers banging it in. I mean, they're able to get it up, move off the seam. That could work. I mean,
in Lahore, the thing is the bounce is a bit inconsistent. It's not like the short pitch. Bowling will get a lot of carry. It still may just get to your chest height, by you getting to that 6-meter length and 7-meter length. But I think it's a good ploy in Lahore. But you can also go for a lot of runs, if the pitch plays well. So,
I
which is
think
expected there.
the key always is like, I'm gonna die on this hill. It's a good take right here. Die on the hill. If you want to get someone out, and you want to make sure, like, you have to squeeze the field. So like, you bowl short, you come around the wicket, bowl short from the leg side angle, and angle it over off stump towards for a second slip. So they've got to. There's only one place they can hit it, and that's down to fine leg, square leg. Like, that's the only way they can hit it. So if you squeeze them there, they can't physically hit to the offside unless they want to go ramp, or they want to go like uppercut ramp. So it really takes cover out. It really takes them from hitting out cover. So then you can pull cover the deep sweeper from cover, pull him in, put an extra person on the leg side, and really restrict them. And all of a sudden you start bowling like really full at their toes, and then you bowl them short, like on outside leg stump, going across their body. It's hard for them. So that's what I do. Because if you see the people that have been getting out short, it's been ones that have been coming up straight, like it's been coming right over middle stump, and they're not expecting it because those balls haven't been getting up, like you said. And when they do get up, they're like, oh wait, let me pull that and skied it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the only thing that's going to be probably different between the Lahore and Dubai pitch, it could be the slowness. I think Dubai pitch is expected to be a little bit more slower than the Lahore pitch, and I'm expecting Lahore semifinal between New Zealand and South Africa to be a high-scoring affair. I think it's going to be a 330 plus chase, something along those lines where India and Australia maybe within 250 to 270 range.
Yeah,
is
they
what
should
I'm
score
seeing.
big runs. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were over there. Did they play over there when they Pakistan, New Zealand, South Africa had their tri series? I don't know if it's the same ground, but they scored 350 over there in Pakistan. So
that was Karachi. Karachi is mostly the highest
Karachi?
scoring ground. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Lahore also will prove to be a high scoring affair. It's a good feel as long as, the water's dried up out of the fields. There was a lot of rain in the last week. So that's going to play a major part, I think.
The swimming pool out there.
The swimming pool out there. Yeah. It was groundsmen slipping all over the place. And other infrastructure things that were damaged during the rainstorm. So,
Sonny in the chat said, "Let head, and then a skull face. Head is that head is good, head is bad. I don't know. That can go both ways. Is Travis Head going to do it for Australia? He has. That's the only way they got to win. If someone Smith or Head have to go and get some runs. Yeah. If India take all their catches, they win.
I think it's another merch idea.
Another merch idea? Yeah. Oh man. But seriously, like there's one way to get Travis Head out. Like and it's like very, very obvious. It's in swing. It's that in swing. Or from coming around the wicket in swing. Yeah. Get him through the gate. He's gonna get him through the gate. That's how you're gonna get him out. And if you don't get him out in the first 5 balls, you're toast. You're absolutely done. Like that's the only way you get it. Like that. So those first few balls, he's super vulnerable, and then he's in. And then just make sure you take your catches. Rashid Khan.
Absolutely, man. Let's continue with some comments here. We got Imran Hussein again. If Travis Head and Steve Smith open, we already looked at this one. If South Africa, I think we saw this one too. I think Mikey was the next one. Most likely India would go with a spin attack because of flat tracks. I think we agree here, Mikey. 4 spinners.
Chakra.
Most likely.
Chakra takes another 5.
Yep, I think so. The South African cricket board will need to be keeping an eye on their players in the IPL because right after IPL will be WTC. Right
after that will be MLC.
Yeah.
We take a lot of those players here in America.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Mikey says that was a poor decision. What decision are we talking about, Mikey?
Chakra?
Remind us again. Yeah. Maybe.
I'm big on the chakra, Mikey. I'm big on the chakra.
Yeah.
I still don't know what he's bowling, so that's a good thing. That's a thumbs up. If I can't pick what you're bowling,
the mystery in itself, it adds a lot of value, especially in high tournament games.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We got Daryl again. Adam, are you inciting something?
Chakra. No, Chakra. Chakra actually doesn't chuck. Chakra's action is very off-putting, but it's not chucking in any way.
Yeah.
Chakra doesn't chuck. But the Australian guy chucks.
I love the pun there.
Kuderman's under speculation for chucking. I mean, I saw his action one time. I'm like, that's a chuck. That's a chuck. I don't know how they didn't pick that up earlier. That's a chuck. 100% chuck. 100% chuck. Boomer's not a chuck. If anyone's telling me Boomer chucks, they need to go get their eyes checked, because it's the opposite of the rule. The rule is you can't extend your arm. You can't go from bent to extend. He goes from straight to bent. It actually bends backwards on the hyperextension. It's not a chuck.
Yeah. Well, it's within those definitions, right? So like the definitions have changed of that, of chucking over the last 40, 50 years of cricket. You know, it's continue to be developed, and we change rules, and then the angles and the 15 degrees. All that happened within the last 2 decades, right? 2-3 decades. So I think the changes are going to be continuous, with their processes. But definitely, it's not a chucker, and one of the best in the business.
Chucker is not a chucker. Chucker is a good.
Yeah, one of the best in the business is Jasprit Bumrah. We got Imran Hussain, Steve Smith's a spinner. He came into the team as a spinner.
He can spin. I pick him on Cricket 25 to spin for me. He's a good spinner.
The control's a little less. The hole's a little bigger on the dropping.
Yeah. I use him on Cricket 25.
The accuracy ain't there, but he can get you some wickets.
To be honest, like, I don't know why he doesn't bowl more spin. Like, leg spin is always the top tier. Leg spin is the top tier spin there is. Like, it doesn't matter, even if you're
he's got a nice simple action too. He's got such a simple action. He should be bowling more spin, but
even if you're poor,
cricket, I think it's a mindset thing. If you remember a player like Michael Clark, for example, very underutilized with his left arm spin. He was a top order bat, but he could have taken 300 plus wickets in ODI cricket if he bowled consistently, right? But it was just that he had to score runs, so he gave up his bowling. And I think that's what Steve Smith may be doing. But, those guys.
Yeah, I don't like, that's one of the things I don't like about cricket and even test cricket. Like, those bowlers in test cricket, they bowl for so long that why don't, for a couple of overs before drinks, that's always the case that you play in grade cricket. If you overs before drinks, if you haven't got a wicket, chuck someone random on. Because it just gives them a chance. It gives you a chance. You know what I mean? And that's like as long as you're putting that ball on the pitch, you're giving yourself a chance. Because leg spin is difficult. It doesn't matter if you're if you're trash. And some people get out for pies. Sometimes you bowl a full bunger and you sky it. You're like,
plus you take it a little bit easy. You've been probably facing a challenging spinner, let's say for an hour, and then all of a sudden you got this somebody lollipop bowler who comes in. You ease up a little bit, and that may just bring on a wicket. It may go for a few sixes, but it may get the guy out. So, it's a risk and reward thing. And I think it's a good shot worth taking. Again, Steve Smith, Labuschagne, these guys can bowl. If you remember, for India, Tendulkar used to be one of those guys who was always a wicket taker, would come in, break wickets with either seam up deliveries or leg spin or off spin, or it was a mixed bag, but such good control, with him as well. And, again, he could have taken a lot of wickets if he bowled consistently, but he was a batter who needed to score runs, different responsibilities. So I think that's why these guys do what they do. I
remember back in the day, even Steve Waugh would have a ball sometimes.
Yeah, he was a decent medium pace. Yeah,
he would roll his arm over. Yeah.
No, he bowled in ODI cricket consistently.
While we're here, what happened to medium paces? Where did medium paces go? There are medium. Where are the medium? There is no medium paces now. What happened to a nice 128 kilometers an hour? What happened to a nice 132 miles an hour? Like, where kilometers an hour?
They're still
Where
there.
is that gone? No, it's not there. There's no one bowling medium paces anymore.
They're all in Team Pakistan, man.
No one bowls medium pace.
They're all in the Pakistani team.
Come on, bring back the medium pace. Bring back the guys that swing it a little bit. Like a little medium pace. I'm trying to think of some guys. I want to say Cameron White. Some of those guys. Some of them. Some of those guys bowled like Simons. He bowled medium paces. Bring back some of those guys.
You remember Chris Harris from New Zealand? Chris Harris. You remember who else? Khalid Mashood from Bangladesh. There were some other medium pacers in that 115 to 120. Darren.
I think bring those back. Bring those back. I want to see someone that's like bowl it slower and swing it. Swing it more. That's all I want to see.
What's the guy's name? Muhammad Asif and Muhammad Abbas, 2 guys from Pakistan. very slow 120, 125, but could move the ball in the air really well.
That's the trick right there. That's the trick.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's go through some more comments. We got Daryl Max. If setting a target, should bat 5 or 6. If chasing, I can see him finishing. He's proving in that role.
Facts, Daryl.
We
on it
agree there,
again.
Daryl.
Facts.
Yeah, we agree there. We got Ravish Singh commenting on our YouTube. India is much stronger. 23 World Cup final. India missed Hardik when Hardik had been. We have won 22 World Cup with his bowling and batting, especially after Kohli. India 2-match winner is Hardik. All right, yeah, absolutely. I think Hardik is a match winner for them. Needs to do well. If he does well, I think India has again a good shot, and Kohli as well. Kohli has been in good touch, so I think in big tournaments he'll come through. Yeah, and Ravish says again, not everyone has temperament and situation awareness like Kohli. What do you think? Why Kohli finishing has been underrated, not gets enough credit? I think he gets the credit, man. I mean, the guy's been the best chaser of ODI cricket and all format cricket. I mean, this guy's
is he batting at 3 or batting at 4 right now?
He bats. I'll confirm that with you. I think he bats 4.
Is he batting a 4?
I think so. I think he bats 4 in the India lineup, or even let me see where he's probably.
You said Sharma, Gill, and then I thought you said Kohli.
We'll see, yeah, Kohli's at 3. Kohli's at 3. Iyer is at 4. Yeah,
I want him down. A peg. I want him down. I would prefer him at 4.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's always batted. I mean, I haven't followed his career too much, to be completely honest. But he's one of those players that you don't like. Some of the players you just don't want to get out. Like, so if he doesn't get out, if you put him in a 3 and he gets out, well, then you've wasted him. But like, if you put him in a 4, then he's gonna make you guaranteed he's gonna be in the middle of the game. And then he's going to start his innings in the middle of the game and then go more towards the end.
You have your most experienced player in that situation, where your team's going to need you to go out there and take the pressure on. So who better than a guy like Kohli, to go out there and do it for Team India. And absolutely, I think coming down to number 4, even Tendulkar, started his career as an opener, but shifted to number 4 over the course of his career. And I think Kohli probably, should do that too later in his career now. If he wants to prolong his game, wants to play for a longer time, maybe
because I got no problems with like Raul going up the order in front of him to like see off a few more balls. Like, you know what I mean? If Raul gets to 10 overs of batting in or 15 overs of batting in front of Kohli, then I'd rather that happen. Like that's because he's a decent bat. He's a decent bat.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we got comment from Mikey. Mikey, you guys realize India's ICC rule makers. I think the world realizes that, Mikey. Don't feel bad about it.
Never heard of it. I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard of it.
I realize ICC always brings some rules they make out of IPL. Yeah, I mean, it's what it is. What can we do, Mikey?
Here's a question about Champions Trophy. Where is Champions Trophy always moved? Like its location? Is it always in a different country every year? Okay, because I haven't really followed it that much, to be completely honest. Like I said, I took that big break from cricket, and like if it was hosted, has it been hosted in Australia or like what would happen if it was hosted in Australia? Like, because what would happen? Like, here's the thing: if it was hosted in Australia, maybe we should go back and check for next episode. But like, if it was hosted in South Africa or hosted in Australia, like, are they all playing every game at the same ground? Or no? Is it going to change? No. That's what I'm saying. So like,
they change.
One of these things is like to make this to have made this tournament fair, you might as well have just split the tournament in half, and had more people playing their games in the Dubai section, so that they didn't have to like fly back just for India. They could have made it a little bit better so that they played in 2 grounds, because like it doesn't matter doesn't matter what country you were in, you would have had to play 2 grounds. Let's say they came and hosted it in America. Well, they would have played some games in North Carolina, would have played some games in Texas, just like for the World Cup. And no one's going to be complaining about that flight, because we just discovered it's a 2-hour flight. So, you know what I mean? Like, I think I think
the problem was obviously the hosting rights were solely given to Pakistan, right? And Pakistan obviously wanted to host that entire tournament. An ICC tournament, albeit, in Pakistan after the 96 World Cup, which is, over, 3 decades, right? Or a little bit close to 3 decades. So They wanted obviously all teams to travel to Pakistan. India would have traveled there after probably I think 2003, if I'm not mistaken. So it would have been, a monumental or historic tour if India went. But obviously, the political tensions and everything between the countries, causes, India to not get an approval from their government to travel out to Pakistan, which leads to, India's match is obviously being moved to Dubai, and solely simultaneously, Pakistan as well, agreed that any future tournaments that are to be played in India, Pakistan will not travel, and they will also would play their matches in a neutral, ground, just like how India did. So it's kind of not great for cricket. All this stuff that's happening. They need to find better solutions, because it's cricket. We should be uniting nations, through cricket instead of trying to find ways to consistently bring up things that puts us apart. So I think we need to align visions.
I feel like one of the I know obviously India does have an advantage playing all in one spot. So like if they knew that from the outset, I'm saying to avoid that, like India have the advantage, they should have just played more teams, played an extra couple of games in that pool at that ground, so that it wasn't so much a big of a deal for everyone to move around the pool system. But obviously, like I said, Pakistan had the rights. But like considering how close it is to Pakistan, in some countries like Australia, 2 hours is the same country. Like it's not a different country. Like in Pakistan, 2 hours gets you out of the country or get you into 5 different other countries. So that's one of the things, I guess.
That sounds good, man. Let's continue with the comments. We got a lot of good comments coming, guys. Keep them coming. We got Ravesh Singh again. We need Kohli bowling medium pace. What do you think?
Does he bowl medium paces?
He does. His action is really funny, and he's an in-swing type of a medium pace bowler. Got a round arm, on top of his head, kind of thing. Not much control, I think, but maybe Tony used to use him a lot as a part timer for a few overs in ODI cricket, and he's gotten wickets in the past. And then another guy he mentioned was Saurav Ganguly. Ganguly was a pretty decent medium pacer back in the day. Remember that? He says number 3 for Kohli. He prefers him there. He has always played at number 3 in ODI. Good point. Let's go with, we got Kingsman 11 in the house. This is Daryl's squad playing in New York National League. Shout out to the New York National League guys. Season starting in April. A lot of work being done in the back end by all teams, so should be a good competition in New York. His comment: imagine Australia wins with the current team. Where would that put India mentally, given that this may be their best team thus far in the last 5 years? It's a mental battle, Daryl. It's a mental battle, man. And, we got to find out who's going to be ready for the challenge. And on the day, whichever teams holds that pressure better will take the cake. But I think India has a slight advantage.
If India lose, India has to come to the realization that it's over for Sharma and Kohli. Like they have to admit that to themselves. Yeah. Like it's one of those things. Like, do they have the capabilities of winning them the game? Yes. Yeah. Are they going to win them the game? We're going to find out. Like that's what it comes down to. Because I'm going to die on the hill that Sharma is wasted at the top of the order because he keeps swinging and getting out. Like I'm saying, if he actually batted properly for 30 overs, he scores runs. But he doesn't. Exactly. He gets out before the end of the 10th over. So it's a waste of time. Why have him there at all? Like anyone else.
And there's better players waiting in the wing, man. Yeah. India's packed with talent, and
what I'm saying.
You can't occupy a spot for so long. And I think gone are the days where, you see careers spanning, 15, 20 years because of the talent that's going to be continuously being churned out, in that Indian market. Is going to continuously get better and better, and they're going to challenge, the status quo. So I think these, in the future, the careers are going to be much shorter span, maybe 5 years, maybe 7 years if you do well. But somebody else is going to come take your spot if India continues to grow in that manner, the way we've seen their cricket grow in the last 15 years. But, we'll see how it goes. And, more comments. Guys, which board is most incompetent in your view? Is USA board trying to popularize cricket in the USA? Saw somewhere Netflix wanted to make a documentary on USA campaign. What's your take? Yeah, you probably saw it on the Reverse Scoop podcast, where we discussed, USA Cricket kind of, rejecting Netflix and Good Morning America during the World Cup. And yeah, it's true and it's sad, but I still don't think USA Cricket is the most incompetent board with the limited resources. What we've been able to achieve here in USA is immense. So I still, back the USA Cricket, is still back the guys to do well. The team's been doing well, and we got a lot of things to improve on, from the transparency aspects and getting the entire American cricket community engaged. So a lot of challenges, but we're moving in the right direction. We've got some decent leadership that's going to continue to improve over time, but the most incompetent, I would probably have to vote for Pakistan cricket, man, hands down. Nobody worse than that. Nobody. Hot take right there. In Adam's viewpoint, the way he says it, hot take.
Oh, man, hot take. Well, I like how we're just coming out of the blocks and just bashing our former countries. Like, I'm just going to say Australia. Cricket Australia spending too much time flagging on my videos. Should spend more time on getting rid of Labuschagne and getting a good third string batter in there, figuring out what they're doing.
33 copyright strikes, man.
Like, how does Scott Boland not play? Like, who cares if Scott Boland's just an MCG bowler? Like, it's absolutely insane to tell me that Scott Boland can't bowl in any format. Bowling
he should have been in the squad.
Bowling in the T20s. It doesn't matter. He's a good bowler. Like, what are we talking about here? Like, it's absolutely a joke.
Yeah.
Like, there's just these gated communities and these gated ideas around who needs to be where, who needs to do what. Like, bowl him in an ODI. Like, he's going to bowl 10 overs. He's got to go through them. Like, if you take wickets, take wickets. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. Totally agree, man. Totally agree there. Let's keep on going. We got Kingsman 11. Sharma has to go. Kohli still have the juice. Yeah, we can see that with performances.
Kingsman's got it right here.
Yeah,
Kohli's still got the juice. Kohli's going to keep it on the deck. He needs some batting advice from some Adam advice. Keep the ball on the deck. That's actually not my advice. It's my grandma's advice. My grandma would smack me in the back of the head if I hit the ball in the air. So Kohli, keep the ball on the ground. Sharma, oh man, my grandma would smack him in the back of the head. He hits the ball in the air too much. You're going to get out swinging.
That's good.
I should put money on it. If they had betting lines, I would go all in on Sharma getting out before 10 overs. All in. Put the house on it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Let's next comment, going down in age, fitness play the biggest part, and Kohli still has it. Kohli's fitness is the top level, man. I mean, he can probably still beat out any 25-year-old when it comes to fitness. So he's got the hunger and he's got a lot to offer.
My view on fitness. Fitness is overrated in the game when it comes to batting. Look, Cornwall. Cornwall can hit you for 6. Like, Sharma's problem isn't that he isn't fit. I'm okay with the size that he is. Like, I'm okay with that size. I want him to hit the ball on the ground. I want him to stop hitting the ball in the air. I want him to stop charging down the bowlers.
Okay,
like,
go ahead. Here's a take on your Cornwall.
He doesn't need a run.
Right? Here's a take on your Cornwall pick, right? Cornwall, last test match he played, bowled 4 or 5 overs, goes off the field with chest pains within the first day. It stays off the field for 4 days. Takes him maybe another few weeks to recover from that only test match.
I didn't say pick him in the test match. There are levels to it. Like, Sharma is probably the most. Sharma is like the most unfit person on the team. Like, obviously he's a little heavier than like pure. He isn't a pure athlete, like Kohli. But like, him being not a pure athlete isn't hindering. Like, I'm happy him being older. Like, he can be older if he just stayed at the crease. If he stayed in his crease and didn't start running down the wicket, he can hit the ball to the boundary. Like, that's all you have to do as a batter.
I mean, there's been a lot of great big-boned players, and Inzamam ul Haq comes to mind.
Yeah.
Best middle order player from
Jacques
Asia.
Callis. Jacques Callis is a big man. Well, Booney, David Boone, Merv Hughes.
Yeah.
So I'm over. I don't like that notion that like a bigger guy can't play cricket. I don't like that. Look about Merv Hughes was a huge dude and he bowled pace.
Yeah,
like he was running in.
He was so big, dude. But they can't be so big where they're like out of the wheelhouse. You got to draw lines.
I understand.
You got a guy like Cornwall. You got a guy like Azam Khan, who was just a bulldozer, right? for Pakistan cricket. Get selected
Cornwall's
for the
like an
World Cup.
exception.
It's crazy,
Yeah,
unreal.
Cornwall's
Really
Cornwall's an exception, but like in 2020 and in ODIs, if you're bowling and you're a bigger guy, that's fine. But like if you're an opening batter, is the only position where you can get away with being bigger because your goal is just to bat out, just like block, get off the shine off the ball. Like if Sharma just stayed into 30 overs, scored 60 odd, he sets India up for a good portion of the game. You know what I mean? So just that's what the openers have to do. Your opener, if you're an opener, set the game up for your team.
Yeah.
So you can be bigger. I'm cool with that.
Absolutely. Agree there, man. Agree there. Let's keep on going. We got Ravish Singh again. Yep, there. I agree.
Love all the hot takes.
Although hot take. Yeah, he likes the hot take, man. Pakistan's the worst board. They're incompetent. Cornwall is a big boy. He sure is. And fitness impact strategy, probably that's why he throws away his wickets. Yeah, good point.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
Good point. And cricket evolved from the 90s.
Bring back the 90s, man. Bring back the 90s.
How
did they do it, man? How did they do it? How did they get on a plane, sink 50 beers, and then go win the Ashes? Like, how did they, that was the day. They would have finished the game. Yeah. They would have gone back to the pub, drunk a few beers, come back the next day and played. And they were the best there ever was.
Yeah. Oh man, it's crazy now. Now let's go over to some England news, man. We had some news coming out of England cricket. Let's first bring up some comparisons. Jos Buttler resigned, as we all know, from the England captaincy after that loss. England under Jos Buttler failed to live up to the golden days of Eoin Morgan. Let's see a quick comparison that I had for you guys between Eoin Morgan and Jos Buttler. So there's the win percentage, 69%, almost 70% for Eoin Morgan, 35.6% for Jos Buttler. Their batting, this is the team batting average during their leadership, 41.5 for Eoin Morgan, 30.1 for Jos Buttler. Bowling average during their leadership, 35.7 for Eoin Morgan, 37.56 for Jos Buttler, and bowling economy rate 5.66 and 5.94. So we've seen a significant decline under leadership of Jos Buttler if you look at the numbers across the board there. So I think it's a good decision that, he decided to, step down and make room for maybe a guy like, Harry Brook, who's the clear favorite to succeed Jos Buttler as England's white ball captain. But they risk overburdening, obviously, their best young batter. So where do we land, Adam? Is Harry Brook a good choice for an all format captain for England, or is it something that they need to kind of wait and see?
I don't know too much about Harry Brook, but the first thing when I saw this, I'm like, no, that's no. Like, I mean, it's giving me Pat Cummins vibes, like, young guy taking the captaincy. But I mean, like, people are going to say the Pat Cummins era cricket team. We can get this later. The Pat Cummins cricket team is the best Aussie team in the world, and it's not. It's absolutely not. Yeah, they have some of the best bowling attack that just gets them out of trouble. But I mean, you need to have a cricket high IQ person. Like, I don't know the English team enough to know who's the high IQ person, because batting fine. If you take all of their batting performances, I mean, they're all good cricketers. Like, I think it was funny. Yeah. I watched the interview with Jos Buttler after the game, after they lost. And he's like, I'm one of the best cricketers in the world, but I can't win a game. Like, he said something to that effect, like, during the interview. Because they asked him, like, oh, what's going to happen with the captaincy? He's like, well, I'm one of the best cricketers in the world. And I'm like, he's right. Like, he's not one of the best cricketers. He's one of the most elite athletes, and he's a good batter. Yeah. But as a team, like, you have to win. It's a team sport. So to be the best team, that comes from, like, top down. So I'm going to say, like, I'm like, you have to blame the coaching, the strategy, and the captaincy all together, because it's, like I said, I'm going to hop on this all day. They had that game in the bag. They scored 350 runs. Australia were 4 down for 100-0. Like, they had 4 guys behind square when Maxwell came to the crease. Like, in what universe do you set a field to Maxwell with a guy at deep point, deep third man, deep fine leg, and deep square leg? Like, that's the stupidest thing in the world. I've never seen it before. And they just keep trying to bounce him. The ball wasn't getting up. And then when Inglis was on strike, those beverages 70 meters, he was hitting him over the fence. So why the point of having someone there? It's a terrible strategy. So that's what I've seen from England. There's terrible strategy around executing a game. They had done the work. They scored the runs. They can bat.
How much do you think that has to do with, though, Adam, the mindset shift to that baseball era under Brendan McCullum, right? I mean, they've had some successes, but obviously over a course of, this ODI cricket, since 2022, I believe, we've seen the numbers, right? The comparison since Owen Morgan and the differences. So do you think it has to do with that mental shift once Owen Morgan left and Brendan McCullum came, and then this baseball mindset, which was, blown out of proportion, that, hey, we're going to play aggressive cricket and do this and do that. But the quality really isn't there for them to, execute what they wanted to do. And we can see that with the numbers. Do you think that had a big impact?
So I like baseball as a whole. The thing that I'm going to hop on, and I've been talking about this in multiple scenarios, is like, if you're going to be aggressive, hit the ball on the ground. Like Don Bradman always talked about, he never hit the ball in the air. He always hit the ball on the ground because you can't get out of it if you hit the ball on the ground. So, like, if you're going to play baseball, you play to the boundary. You hit your cover drive to the boundary. You hit your straight drive to the boundary. You hit your cut shot on the ground to the boundary. Like, you're playing to the boundary. So that's where teams are going to get into trouble. If you start swinging for the fences too early and you're being reckless in your cricket shots, you're not playing proper cricket shots, then you're going to get out just being stupid. But if you're aggressive, if you're proactively aggressive and hitting the ball on the carpet and following through the ball, hitting the ball on the ground, hitting the gap, making the fielders move, making the fielding team move their fielders, then that's good batting. But the batting isn't their problem. It's their bowling and their fielding. Like, not the fielding like as a whole, but like where they're placing their field. There's strategy around it. Like, the strategy was to take 3 quick bowlers and bowl short. That was their strategy towards Inglis and Maxwell. Like, that was ridiculous. Like, what happened to pitching the ball up? Like, they had a chance. They could have picked an extra spinner. Which they should have, and they should have a different spinner in the team. And they should be playing, like, bring in more slips. Like, why isn't the strategy like to put the ball up and make him drive down the ground? Like,
I think there was tactical errors. There was clear tactical errors from the England side, but
clearly,
big time. And even against the game against Afghanistan, which I think they needed to close out. They almost had that game, and they just let Afghanistan come back, through the back door. So
another one coming in the back door. Afghanistan's coming in the back
door.
Merch idea. But
only,
you're
only
right.
The legends will understand,
Like, England didn't listen to Michael Bevan. They didn't take it deep. Like, Joe Root had to stay to the end, and he got out. Like, there was no reason to play that shot. Like, when you're out there batting, like, you have to assess the risk. Like, you get the short ball at your head, let the ball go. You need 40 off 30 balls or whatever it was. Like, you don't need to play that shot. Wait,
I totally agree, man.
Because you can let 3 dot balls go by and then hit a boundary. If you're playing your baseball positive cricket, then you let the 2 or 3 balls go by, hit a boundary, or just rotate this. Just keep hitting a single if it's there. If it's not there, leave it alone. Take it deep. Take it deep. That should be the title of this.
Take it deep. Take it deep.
Take it deep.
The shirts and hoodies dropping soon. And if you want hats, let us know in the comments.
Take it deep.
I'll see if I can drop them on my reverse scoop shop. So stay tuned there. That was the update on England. I think they will probably have new skippers across all 3 formats, is what England is probably going with: T20, ODI, and Test cricket, and Harry Brooks probably favored to take over one of them. Most likely, I think ODI cricket is probably what he will take over as captain. Another news was that James Anderson has thrown his name in next week's for 100 draft, the ever ageless.
Do it.
James Anderson, you'll see in the 100 if he gets drafted.
Do it. Because that's going to go
And
back on my other hot take, the hill I'll stand on. Doesn't matter how
yeah.
old you are. Like right now, they have the seniors. You've seen the opens, the worlds, the seniors, whatever they call them, the all stars. They've been playing. Like those guys can still play cricket. Like what are you telling me? Like
No,
Chris
big
Gale
time.
can't. You put Chris Gale out there in an ODI, he'll score you 50 runs.
You seen Kumar Sangakkara take down the leg side at 47?
Oh yeah, he still
That
got
thing
it.
was nuts. Yeah,
That's what
that
I'm
thing was
saying.
nuts.
Like, there's no age
Thing was nuts.
restriction in cricket.
Yeah.
Like, it's certain key areas in a cricket team you can get away with an older batter, older bowler. Like, you know what I mean? Leg spin, any kind of spin. You could be 60 and still bowl decent spin. Doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
And you can open the batting and still be unfit and 60. I mean, every other position, maybe not. But, like, if you're a good spinner, I don't care how old you are. Like I said, Brad Hogg, bring him back. He's probably 50 and 50s. Bowl some left arm spin. He can still bowl
absolutely.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a specialist, come in, do your thing, you know? So yeah, I mean, let's look at a few other comments that we got coming. Right here. Let's see. We got Kingsman again. The beers were much healthier then. I'm sure they were. I wouldn't know that. Adam could tell you.
4X Gold. It's a good beer.
Ravish saying Sharma used to bat till 30 overs before, till 2019 World Cup, but after 2022 World Cup loss, he changed his strategy in 23 World Cup and is applauded by experts. Everyone. Otherwise, I had liked when he batted deep.
What experts?
Yeah.
What experts?
I don't know what experts.
That's how you know. That's how you don't know people. That's it. Because some people think they know cricket, and then some people don't. Like they just don't. Like that's not a good strategy.
Absolutely. And Morgan captaincy and the team was in prime during his tenure, and the time Butler took down downfall had started. That's a good point. We got Ravish again. Nabil, I agree. McCullum Bazball was not going to work with this squad. They don't play according to balls on merit. They start slogging. Most of them only root played the way it used to be. I think I agree there. Absolutely on point. Adam, do England have in them to take deep? I have doubts. doubts. I think England needs some extra juice in words of Daryl, you know.
England can't take it deep.
Yeah, England can't take it deep, man. Let England be. I want Gale versus Bhuvi again. I think Gale takes down Bhuvi. Good swing bowler of his time. But let's also switch focus to some performances in the Champions Trophy. You know, some highest wicket takers, and we got Matt Henry, Azmatullah Omarzai, Ben Dwarshuis, Will O'Rourke, and Jofra Archer. So New Zealand, some New Zealand bowlers there, Afghanistan, and Ben Dwarshuis is doing well too. Taking his opportunity. Most runs, if we look at for the tournament so far, we got top two run scorers from England. We got Joe Root and Ben Duckett, and they're kicked out. So
look at that.
Tells you, man, it's not an individual's game, right? Cricket is a team game.
It's not an individual game; it's a team game.
Yeah, it's a team game
right there.
And like you have highest run scorers doesn't mean anything.
Like I want to see the Australian run score. Like the Australians are going to be on the back end of this. Yeah. Well, I guess probably not. I mean, English, they will be. They'll be on the back end of this run scoring table, but they're still there. They just win. It's a team thing. They just have a way of winning as a team. Yeah, it's a team thing. And I don't know if it's Australian culture or whatever, or the way that it's molded, but I don't know. Australians are weird.
Yeah, no, big time, man, big time. And then we got comments from Rohit Sharma. There was a lot of talk about advantages, India, staying in Dubai, playing all their matches. So he dropped some comments. It's not like we know what's going to happen on these pitches. We don't know which pitch will be used in the semifinal, but whatever it is, we will have to adapt and see how it goes. And it's not our home either. This is Dubai. We don't play so many matches here. It's new for us as well.
Pretty sure Sharma was at the meeting where they came in and like, here's a sample of the turf. Okay, here's the turf we're gonna be using at the cricket pitch. Which one do you want? You want the cream, the beige, the ivory? Which one do you want? You want the cream? Okay, we're gonna go with this turf right here. Perfect. How spongy you want it? You want a little hard, a little softer? He's at that meeting. Man. He was at that meeting.
Oh man, we're killing it tonight, man. We're killing it tonight with these merch ideas.
Over here. Manty in the chat said, I regret not going to the USA T20 World Cup. Grew up in India till I was 14. Love the cricket. Should have got out to. Should have got. I didn't get out there. I didn't even know what was going on. Let's be real. Didn't even know it existed. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But you're here now. I'm here now. That's how it works. Now we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here. And Ravish is saying most impressed by Omarzai. Do you think he's the second best all-rounder after Hardik? I don't know, man. I think he's been super fine for Afghanistan, and I think has done well and could be put in that similar category as Hardik, but maybe not there yet. Hardik's had injury concerns over his career, which I think have kind of hindered his gameplay over the years, and it impacted his quality too. But Omarzai is a fit guy, scores runs, takes wickets, takes catches, does everything. I think he's soon to be probably the best all-rounder in world cricket, man. Just the way he's going. So props to him, from Afghanistan.
Dugan in the chat says Australia is real. They're a real team. They're a real team.
Oh, absolutely. It's the mindset, bro. Everybody's jealous of the Aussies, man. If they can put together a club team and probably come beat Pakistan, so
that's facts.
Yeah,
that's
it's
100% of facts.
Yeah.
Like Australia right now playing it, like it's hard to explain to people, but like the level of cricket in Australia is unlike anything else. Yeah. Like it's just different. Like in Australian cricket was like they figure you out. They're like, okay, you're never gonna play cricket. Yeah. Okay. And then you come over here and you're like, oh, just rock up to a minor league side. Like it's just different. Like this the whole structure of like how you're raised to be a cricketer. And when I was talking to some of the English guys on my pod, they were saying that a lot of English people, the kids, they play soccer first, like football, soccer first, cricket second. Like in Australia, like they do cricket first. Like cricket is a first sport. Like, and you're taught from a young age, and you're taught very, very well. There's a lot of, coaching set up, and there's a lot of good pathways and grounds and everything structured. And, like you can move your way through academies, and just like baseball is here in the States, like it's very well set up. So like you get to a certain level where everyone is good. Everyone is good. And, there's guys playing first grade cricket for Australia that if you took the first grade 11, put a super team together from any first grade in Australia and put them up against any other nation, they're going to be able to compete. It isn't like they're not able to compete. It's not like they're going to be completely flogged. Like they're going to compete. It's just like there's just those special players that get to go all the way through, and,
the infrastructure is so strong. That's the good thing in Australian cricket, and if you look at, Pakistan cricket, the talent is there, man. I mean, on my recent trip, I told you the kind of talent I saw. It's, mind-boggling why we don't see such a much stronger Pakistan team. But, as somebody brought up tonight, the most incompetent board and the management, that's who's at fault, really, of not really getting that talent to come out and, to be, readied for top level cricket. So it's the domestic structure, it's the infrastructure within, the board itself, and the management, and the corruption, and the dislikeness. There's all of that. So, a lot of work to be done, by a board like that. But now let's talk about, one of the best, trends that we're seeing right now, Adam. And it's one of my favorite trends that's going around, and it has to do with an artist being compared to an art form on the cricket field by Glenn Phillips, the fielder. So Michelangelo versus Glenn Phillips right here, man. Who did it better? Some of these catches are just mind-boggling, man. First one off of Muhammad Rizwan, and then in the last match against India, the Kohli catch, which one was better? Let us know in the comments, what you guys think. Which catch was better? The first one or the second one by Glenn Phillips, and both were just insane.
Is he right or left-handed? That's going to be the determining factor. I think if he's right-handed, then the left-handed catch has to be better.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think the left-handed catch he took was off of Muhammad Rizwan, which was off the left hand, and the one he took off of Kohli was with his right hand. So just insane catches, man. And I love the trend with him just becoming the top fielder in world cricket today. So do you think he surpassed that level? Is he the best fielder in world cricket right now?
Best fielder is hard to put a pin on because I feel like these days there's less runouts than there used to be. Like I don't like think about it. When was the last like real run out? Like I was trying to get some highlight footage, and I'm like, when's the last real run out? Like I feel like when Ricky Ponting and Simons played back in that era, there was more runouts. I mean, obviously it was played more against Pakistan, probably if you think about it, but Pakistan can't run.
They can't do anything, man.
But in those ODIs, they would take quick singles. Like they're not really taking quick singles anymore.
Yeah.
And the Ponting and Simons Rhodes were right there on the inside that circle, nice and tight, and were able to throw the stumps down. You just don't see it anymore. And I think it's the way that maybe it's the way they're, I don't know, bowling different, setting fields different, but
I think it's the gameplay that has changed and evolved over time. But the like he makes it look so easy, man. Being halfway up in the air, flying through, and just taking these catches.
Catching wise, for sure, he's the best. He's the best. I mean, Smith,
best pair of hands, huh?
Smith and him are the two best catches in the world right now, for sure.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man. And I think Jadeja is probably one of the top fielders, but I think he surpassed all fielders, man, with his performance in the last few matches. And let's go through some comments. We got comments coming in. We got Daryl, India and Australia has the two best structure for developing cricket. I agree, Daryl. Oz team is Patriot or Boston Red Sox. I don't know. I don't know what you mean.
Probably more Patriots, I guess. As in like they're just hard to beat. But I mean,
Boston Red Sox didn't win a World Series for over 100 years, so I don't think Australia is the Boston Red Sox.
Like the Yankees, but I guess Yankees haven't won in a while either.
Maybe Patriot because of the dynasty, and Australian dynasty can be compared to that of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. So, maybe something like that can be compared. Second versus India. I'm not sure what he means here. We got Daryl. Glenn got on more clothes. Definitely Glenn. Definitely Glenn. All right. Jadeja would like to have words. Yeah, but I think Jadeja is a bit older. I think the fitness wise, Glenn Phillips is just a beast, man. The guy does 800 push-ups a day. So that's something. I think somebody's doing 800 push-ups a day is why he makes these catches look so easy, and that's why we need fitness, Adam. Can a Cornwall do that? Can an Azam Khan do that? I don't think so, man.
Push-ups are the worst thing for you. No. Speaking of that, for bowlers, we go back to that chucking action. Like in fitness, like bowlers are going to focus on stretching this like anterior chain. Like they need to have more flexibility, more be able to get that arm bent back further, shoulder to sit back further. If you do too many push-ups, you're going to restrict this part of your body. He doesn't bowl, so he can do that. But even still, if you're a bowler, you want to do the opposite. You want to do more pull-ups than sit push-ups. My personal trainer coming in there.
There you go. Orange Theory Fitness. Check Adam out there, man. Check Adam out, man. Check Adam out, man. We got some fitness people coming your way, Adam. So Fab 4, who is better in fielding? Smith, Kane, Root, or Kohli? It's a good question. What do you think, Adam?
Smith? What's the argument here? What's the argument?
All right, I think he went with Smith. I think I can go with Smith. They're all pretty good fielders, man. But definitely Smith. Let's go with Smith there. And last thing we have for the night is what I want to do is I want to create an 11 with this group of players that I've brought up on my screen. So cricketers who have played 300 or more ODIs. So we're going to create an 11, with input of our viewers and people that are watching us through comments. So Adam,
notepads out right here. Notepads are out. Here we go.
Notepads are out, man. What are you thinking? How do you want to go about this?
So you need
selection of 11.
Kick it off. We need two openers. Who are our two openers?
So we got Sachin Tendulkar, Chris Gale, Sana Jayasuriya. We got Tilkaratne Dilshan. We have Saurav Ganguly. We have Shahid Afridi, who could open in that time. Who else? I think those are some opening options there.
That's it. So we're locking. I'm locking in I'm looking in
Sachin?
Gale. And if Tendulkar's opening, did he open in the ODIs?
He did, but I think he moved down to 4 later in his career.
Well, there's plenty of batting here, so let's put Tendulkar opening with Gale. What a combination that is. Oh my goodness.
That's a good combination. Yeah.
Tendulkar and Gale to open. Now we need a 3. So
I think an easy 3 would be a Ricky Ponting, and that's my captain.
Has to be.
Has to be Ponting, and he has to be the captain. That C mark for me goes to Mr. Ricky Ponting. Who we going at number 4?
Now we need 4 and 5 batter. So you got
Mahela Jawardene, Callis, Steve Waugh, Kohli, Inzamam, Arvinda De Silva, Muhammad Azharuddin, Yuvraj Singh, Kumar Sangakkara, MS Dhoni, and yeah, that's what
where did Sangakkara normally bat?
Number 3. But so I think we can play him in middle order at 4 or 5 as well as a wicket keeper.
Yeah, because you got Callis is your all rounder, so he could go 5 or 6.
Or even 4.
But I'm saying you could squeeze an extra batter in there, use Callis as a bowler, you put him in at 5. Like I'd rather have him as 5. Steve Waugh, he got plenty of runs, but I mean not gonna be.
I think Kohli's gotta be number 4 for us. Kohli has to come in at 4.
You want Kohli in at 4?
I think so. I think out of this list that we have in front of us,
Sangakkara. Can you take Kumar Sangakkara?
Kumar probably at 5 or 6 for me. At 5, Kumar, and 6.
You want Kohli, then Kumar.
Yep, Kohli at 4. Kumar at 5.
Yeah, and then Callis.
And then Callis at 6 is our all-rounder. And then we have the keeper covered in Kumar. So now we got more all-rounder options. Who do we want to go with from the all-rounders? We can add a spinning all-rounder or a batting all-rounder.
Let's come from the ground up. So we need at least 2 fast bowlers and 2 spinners.
Yep. And another all-rounder perhaps.
One other all-rounder. So who we got down here? Who can bowl?
So we got Wasim Akram. I think he makes the list for me. For sure. Yeah, Wasim Akram, Pakistan.
Somebody's fast bowler. Who are our fast bowlers over here? Wasim Akram,
Chamin Nawaz, Sean Pollock. That's really it. That's really it. And we only got 3 options.
That's really it for fast bowlers?
Yeah. I mean, they were all pretty good, these 3 options.
Who do you want? You want Wasim and Vas?
Wasim and Was. Yeah, I think those would be a good combination. Okay. Yeah, Wasim and Was.
Afridi's going to bowl some spin. Afridi can bat too.
Afridi, yeah. Afridi has to go in that all-rounder slot, I think, after Callis. So number 7, we got Afridi. We got Wasim Akram at 8. Chaminda Vas at 9.
Who else can bowl? Someone else that can bowl.
I think Pollock has to be in there.
Guess we got to put Sean Pollock in. Pollock's in. One more time that can bowl.
Pollock's in at 10, and then maybe another spinner. I think we got a lot of good options covered in here. Maybe a batter who can give you some overs. So I think I like Sanat Jayasuriya, who was a really good left arm, actually off spinner, right arm off spinner, and a really good hitter as well. So I think Sanat Jayasuriya probably
lock it in. He'll fit in there somewhere. That bat's deep. That lineup bat's deep.
Crazy lineup, man. So let's run it through. So we got Sachin, we got Chris Gale, we got Ricky Ponting, captain at 3. We got Virat Kohli at 4. We got Kumar Sangakkara, wicketkeeper at 5. Jack Callis at 6. Shahid Afridi at 7. Jayasuriya at 7. Afridi at 8. Pollock at 9. Wasim Akram at 10. And Chaminda Vas at 11. What a lineup.
Wow. That's a good side right there. Solid.
That's a solid side, man. That's a solid side. I think it's going to be fun. Would have been fun to see this kind of team in action, and a lot of legends in there for us. So I think that's all we had for the night. Yeah,
those legends are playing right now in that Legends All-Star series. I mean, I don't know where you can watch it. I can't find it here where to watch it, but you can see highlights on YouTube.
Yeah. So check out those highlights. Check out Recently dropped episode on Adam's channel, episode 2, I believe. Adam, you recently dropped, or 3?
Up to 3. 3 came out today.
3 came out today on Adam Bannon Cricket Podcast. So check that out, guys.
Spoke with She Is Floyd. Floyd is the host, MLC host, World Cup cricket host. So yeah, that's American awesome. Getting into cricket.
That's awesome. Check that out. Let's actually do this. Let's go and drop this episode in the comments before we end this conversation here. Just so we have it in there, and I can drop it in the comments for you guys to check it out.
Yeah, we've got 3 episodes in. We've got a couple of people already recorded episodes, and then we're gonna be dropping basically 1 a week, talking to different cricket content creators, cricket, from around the world, discussing different.
There you go. Stuff. There you go. Yeah. We got Ravish also selecting his lineup here: Sachin, Sanat, Ricky, Kohli, Yuvi, Dhoni, Jack Callis, Wasim, Was, Polak, Murli. I don't think Murli was in that list there.
I think he was at the very end. Was he right at the very end?
If he is there, then we made a big blunder, man. Sanat Jesuri out, and Murli in. It's a classic blunder if we made that. So good call there, Ravish. That's a good call there. And thank you for joining tonight, guys. Make sure to check out our Reverse Scoop shop. You can support, youth cricket development, and we got some good ideas tonight on merch. So maybe I'll update the merch on there for you guys. Take it deep. Hashtag, let's get it across the board, and we'll have more ideas coming your way. Check out our membership section as well, guys, if you want to, engage further and get more back-end content with Adam and I. So check out our membership sections. Check out the Reverse Scoop shop, and until next week, we'll be back again, potentially on a Tuesday next week. Adam will be back next week, so we'll be on our schedule. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Our deep dive into the current cricketing landscape. Don't forget to share your thoughts and predictions for the upcoming matches. Follow us on social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and subscribe to our podcast for more updates. Until next time, Nabil Khan and Adam Bannon from the Reverse Scoop, calling it a night. Thank you very much.